right, we're here with Nate. He got top 4 at our Blazing Vortex case tournament. What deck were you playing?
I was playing Live Twin Eldlich. I've been playing a lot of Eldlich ever since it came out. A lot of the decks I was playing since then were Eldlich variants, Synchro Eldlich, Invoked Eldlich, Zoo Eldlich recently before this. I think after this event I'm going to go to that really monkey Eldlich list that was played at the LCS by Jesse Cotton, just because, haha, Inspector Borders
It looks fun, right? Yeah. All right, man. Well, let's check it out.
Yeah. Okay, so starting off with the main deck, we have the Live Twins, 3 of the Kiss Kill, 3 of the Lila, and 1 of the new one. So these are your normal starters. One thing I really like about them is that if you have cards like Droplets on the field, or if they try to ogre it, the Lila or Kiss Kill you special from the deck can trigger their effect right after that resolves. That's a cool thing. This one, I'm iffy on, because in theory it's really good. If they break your initial Live Twin, Evil Twin link, resource loop, and you have none on field, but you got a Scarlet Sanguine set and a Golden Lord up, you can summon her out, link away into the Lila link too, and then immediately just start going back into the resource loop again. But that never really came up during the day. I'm still gonna keep her for now, just because, you know, it's a free zombie. It's also searchable by the spells that we're gonna go into later. After that goes 2 Golden Lord. Only need 2 in this variant. You don't need to do anything else really. It's kind of standard, kind of self-explanatory. I would consider playing the 3rd in the side, maybe, just not for that event specific. And rounding it out is the hand traps. The only hand trap I play that weekend in the main, Ash Blossom. It just hits everything in the format right now. Scarlet Sanguines, excuse me, Tankies. That's a bad thing to hit, but you know, Tankies, Barrages, Meteor Servants, just a lot of things right now. And it's a good all-arounder. Served me very well this weekend. After that are the spells. For the Live Twin engine, the Live Twin engine, we got a Secret Password and 3 Live Twin Home. This is what you usually search off of the Secret Password, but the cool thing with Secret Password is that if you have both links up on the field, or both of the little ones on the field, and you need like an extra extender to go for game, you could activate this, search the zombie, and then bring her out through an inherent special summon. That's cool. This also synergizes really well with any of the Eldlich cards, the field spell, and continuous spell and whatnot, because it discards for cost, and that's pretty cool. Cursed Elbland plus Live Twin Home is a very... It feels like resolving an engage for 3 spells. After that is the next engine piece spell, 3 Cursed Elbland. Pretty self-explanatory. The best Eldlich card searches your Golden Lord if you need it for spot removal, or searches any like golden lands you might need for like follow-up plays and whatnot. Sometimes if you're in a weird spot, you can pop this with your Lila Link, send a golden land into the graveyard. That's pretty cool. And then comes the tech spells that I played. 3 Forbidden Droplet, because Virtual World's pretty popular here. I don't think the Virtual World matchup is that hard, unless your hand is all Virtual World cards. Not Virtual World, Live Twin cards. But either way, this just synergizes really well with the both engines in general. Like I said, you could send a small Live Twin off of her when you activate the special summon effect, like negate a window or something. You could send any of the Eldlich traps to like stop VFD from resolving and stopping the Chuchi from popping it. It's just really good. Pretty expensive though. Please reprint soon, Konami. After that are 3 Cosmic Cyclones. It's just a good generic spot removal. There's a lot of Virtual World here and a lot of back row decks here in general. It's just good hits. Ruins the grind game for Eldlich. Stops Chuche. Stops that continuous spell from negating your stuff. Whatever it's called, I forget. Qinglong? I'm probably wrong. I probably butchered that, but it's a good card. And rounding out the spells is Called by the Grave, the Saki 1-up. It's just really solid, this format. Stops hand traps, stops things that trigger engrave like Entices, Golden Lords and whatnot. Just good all around. Then comes the traps. Engine traps, we have 2 Hakero, 3 Conquistador, 3 Sanguine. I go back and forth on playing the 3rd Hakero from time to time, but overall, I think this is a solid amount. Good card. This is my favorite card of the Eldliches. This is what I usually go for if I need to send something off of Cursed Eldin from popping it to get a golden land. And then for tech traps, I have a mini trap trick engine of 2 Needle Sealing and 2 Torrential Tribute. Needle Sealing and Torrential Tribute are really good this format, but I'm kind of weird on playing this at 1 with only 2 of each because it does work. You do get what you need to, but that also like is weird because when you banish 1 for the other, you lose that. It's weird. But it did work out for me somewhat. I'm probably going to test with a different... I'm probably going to swap these 3 out for a Torrential. I'm at 42, so it's probably just going to be the Torrential I swap these 3 out for. But it was still pretty good overall this weekend. Didn't resolve it that often though. But when it helped, it helped. And now finally, Solemn Strikes, 3 of them. Super good this format. Counter trap, so it's hard to respond to. Not only does it negate effect, it also destroys it. So if they do a Lulu target continuous spell or something, you strike it, it doesn't go through, it goes to the graveyard. It kind of sucks that they have the new trap in there, but it's fine. Stops advantage from going, hard to respond to. Really like it. Next is the extra deck. I love the extra deck in this deck. So honestly, when it comes to variances format, I think the best one is Zoo. But the thing that I really like about this deck is the follow-up you get with the links you play. So for those of you that aren't familiar, you make these with the Life Twins. You usually go into this one first, and then you revive. Well, they both have effects to revive the other one. So Kiss Kills revives Lila's, Lila's revive Kiss Kills. The usual resource loop of them is after you resolve the effect to have both of them on field, you go into Kiss Kill first, revive the Lila from grave, go into Lila, revive the Kiss Kill from grave, draw a card, and then make a Lila, another Kiss Kill again, so you can get a pop of Lila there in their turn. So the thing with the follow-up with them, usually, if you have a 3rd monster, like a Golden Lord or something, it's really powerful because of the way their arrows are. So cool things you can do after reviving. If you put your, as long as you don't put like any of them in like the far right or far left zones, you could pretty much do this anywhere. You could summon a Nightmare Unicorn or Cerberus to whoever you need to, discard a card, get a free draw, and then you could revive the other Life Twin if you link the wave. And then eventually you could just link Climb into one of my favorite cards in the deck, which I'll show in a bit. After that comes some utility links. Link Spider for linking away your golden lands. The Nightmare packages that I mentioned earlier. Cerberus, Phoenix, Unicorn. I didn't use Cerberus at all this weekend. Only time I used it was not for the monster popping, but for trying to play around Torrential Tribute. Because, you know, co-links are cool. Unicorn was my favorite this weekend. It was the one I went into often because it deals with problems in a better fashion because it doesn't destroy. Good utility. After that comes Ningirsu. I never used its effect at all, but I think it's pretty cool because you could use it to out Dragoons and whatnot, send your own golden lands and whatnot. It's pretty cool. But I wish I just resolved it once this weekend. Access code, it is a game ender, but you really don't go into it too often because when you use your the link effects of the link 2s, you're locked into Fiends from the extra deck, and this is a Cyber, so you can't really go into them too often. But when you do, it's like really game ending. And finally, for rounding out links, is my favorite link 4 in this deck. This thing is such a monster of a follow-up on your turn 3. even if you don't kill them, you just chew through boards like butter with this thing. So usually what I do, like I said earlier, I'll usually link off one of the links into a unicorn. So usually if it's like Kiss Kill, Lila right there, I'll link off the Kiss Kill and the extra monster into a unicorn, co-linked with Lila, spin something back, use Lila, bring back Kiss Kill, draw a card. And then I'll link a unicorn and Lila into Abomination, and that's 2 free pops on its own. Because Abomination just keeps popping left and right. And the battle phase shenanigans is also really good too in helping chew through boards and go for game. And like, if you're playing against back row decks, the end phase pop is really good. I had a guy scoop because I popped his Solemn Strike in his end phase. It's just really good. Finally, these last 2 are kind of tech spots-ish. Technically, that the Ningirsu's a flex spot too, but these are really flex spotty. Sky Cavalry, Centauria, and Zeus for going second. So the cool thing is that you're not locked into Fiends for the main deck. For the main deck Life Twins. So if you're on a spot where you're facing against like certain boards, you can bring out the second one, go into Centauria, attack something, and if it's like a window or something, you could bounce it back. And then after that, you go into Zeus, get a free clear, and that really doesn't use too much resources, usually. So even if they like negate the Zeus, you've baited a negate, possibly bounce something. Never came up all weekend, but if my opponent in the top 8 did a different board for his Infernoble combo, I would have gone into this to clear it out. But, you know, it's still pretty cool. Probably going to keep trying this out. And other things I want to try out in the extra deck include IP and the new Link 5, I forget her name. But I couldn't find the Link 5 in time, and the more I think about it, the more I think, man, that's kind of a niche usage. But it's still something I want to try. So anyway, onto the side deck. So something I like to do after siding is swap out the Torrentials, the Trap Trick, and the Needle Sealing for hand traps, depending on the matchup. That's not a hand trap. So for hand traps, I got Nibiru, Skullmeister, and Cycle Reader. I didn't use this all weekend. So that was a bit of a waste, but it's super good in the Drytron matchup. Almost a FTK against them. Meisters, it's probably my favorite hand trap in this format in specific. It doesn't hit as much as Ash, at least in my locals, but it's just good and solid. I'd also considered Bell instead, but you know, Meister is better against Virtual World, and I played too much Virtual World, so there's that. So I also played a lot of Dogmatica, and Bell's better against that deck, so I'm probably going to try and fit Bell in. Nibiru, I'm iffy on. When it's really good against the combo decks, it's really good, but most of the time it's just kind of mediocre. Sometimes it's enough. I don't know. Still a cool card. I should play golds to tell the opponents. 10th card is Pinkertops, just a good generic, you know, popper for going second. Helps break boards. It's a big boy. I miss him at 3. Don't put him back to 3, Konami, but I miss him. After that are the trap cards I play. 2 Ice Dragon's Prison. Only 2 to go along with the Trap Trick theory I had in this deck. So I'd swap out like Needle Stealing or Torrential depending on the matchup for this. Served me pretty well. Didn't really go into it too often in the site though. Finally, just Solemn Judgment for going first, because depending on the matchup, you're probably going to side a lot of back row hate, and this answers back row hate in a form that's really hard to respond to. And it's just a good generic going first card in general.
Cool, dude. Congrats. Any shout-outs?
Shout-outs to Area 51. Shout-outs to Dak, Gage, Kiana, TJ. Thank you.
I should have won that top 4 for the top 8.
Don't be a little bitch. I love you.
You must.
Shout outs to David, the shop owner. Shout out to everyone who came out Friday, even though it was a little crowded. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks, man.
Shout outs to Sal, my ride. Always takes me for a ride. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Congrats, bro. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.